You guys familiar with the song by Drew Hill that starts off, "Lately I've been so uninspired"? Um, that is how I've been feeling as it relates to creating content. It's funny, I looked at my account today and I'm like, 57 videos? 98% of that was like off the cuff organic thoughts in real time. I think I had a couple that were um, thought about in advance and that I actually wrote down my thoughts. Um, but I have consumed quite a lot of content and I love so many of the perspectives and the empowering videos for um, black women, light skinned black women, biracial, mixed black women who, prior to this space existing, did not have the luxury of sharing their experiences um, with reverse colorism. And it's so taboo in the black community for a lighter brown black woman to say that someone or another woman specifically is treating her unfairly because she's pretty. It's very, very taboo. And this space gave so much or provides so much therapeutic relief because you can literally listen to these stories and it's as if they know your life. They know exactly the type of issues you've been dealing with. And some of the ones that you didn't necessarily clock as being reverse colorism or because like something that was happening to you because of how you're perceived in terms of attractiveness. It's like, oh, that is why that happened. I hadn't really thought about it in that way prior to this woman making this video on this day, telling her story. I appreciate my audience and the people or the women who take time out to listen to my perspective and write me comments so much because it seems like so many of you all are reluctant to feed into the negative aspects of pretty privilege. And I think personally, if I explain away a lot of the little issues that I have, oh, that just happened because I'm pretty, whether it's true or not, I personally am not at a place where I think that's healthy for me because I do feel like it can cause you to compromise your humility if there's too much emphasis placed on external appearances. But with that being said, like, we live in a very surface, shallow world, and a lot of things do boil down to external appearances. Um, there's just no way around it. So it's just, it's just a conundrum because I know that I am received a certain way because of my presentation. And most times it's positive, more positive than not. And I think I've even said in a video before the reason why reverse colorism and like the little big microaggressions that happen interracially bother me so much is because it's so rare. And and even saying that, like, it's true though. Like, I handle people with care. I'm tactful and I'm polite. I really do feel like what I'm putting out into the world comes back to me, and I want that to be good. I also believe in unforeseen occurrences, so I know that sometimes, you know, things happen and there's no rhyme or reason, but for the most part, we're getting back what we put out. And so, because I'm so intentional with the way that I apply the golden rule and I'm trying to treat people and not take advantage of people and not use people the way in which I would not like to be used, taken advantage of, or treated poorly, um, because I'm so intentional with that, I'm out here having positive experiences most of the time, um, across the board, in mixed company, um, and um, just universally. Just different spaces that I'm entering. My experiences are mostly positive, and I'm grateful for that. I see that as a blessing that I've intentionally pursued. So when I met with microaggressions and reverse colorism by Black women who I identify with and look to for, like, as the home team, it is shocking and disappointing, and I just never get used to it. And because I'm not completely wrapped up in my looks or however I've been, I'm deemed to, appearance wise, like however it is that I'm looking, that is resulting in whatever experiences I'm having, positive and negative, I don't interact with people with an awareness of self. I'm actually thinking about them and being polite to them, holding space for them. And as a person who is very much into having my alone time, when I am outside, I'm not thinking about me completely. And so my content going forward, I have a lot of questions and thoughts around the ways in which dark skinned Black women, light skinned Black women, mixed and biracial Black women should be attempting to create a dialogue that helps with understanding each other better. I recently saw a TikTok where a dark skinned Black woman, beautiful girl, was talking about how she often feels like light skinned Black women are her number one haters, and how they almost seem offended by her beauty, um, especially when they're lighter than her. And I just thought that was so sad. I was like, wow, like that's the exact conversation we've been having about colorism, featureism, texturism, etc. in this space. So it's just like everybody is having like parallel experiences out here, and it just seems so pointless that in 2024 there's still this house field dichotomy, this Willie Lynch, whether that's a true story or not. Like, it's just so sad. And one of the things that I wrote about in this post in my community tab is how if I had a dark skinned daughter, I would be trying to help her to see herself in the most positive light possible, so that when she's out in the world interacting with people in general, but particularly other Black women, she's not being mean and hateful, because to me that's an automatic tell It's a dead giveaway. You're showing your whole hand that you feel inferior to the woman that you are being rude and nasty to for no reason. You are, and that is almost why, even in my thought process that humility before all, even in my thought process with that, if you're consistently being gaslit and treated raggedy by other black women and you know you aren't deserving of it, at some point there has to be some type of buffer and awareness of why. And I personally wouldn't want to raise a black little girl, a dark skinned black little girl, who is going around immediately through her interactions with other black women, particularly light skinned black women, because that is what reverse colorism is about, her behavior automatically telling them that she feels inferior because you don't even know her well enough to be mad. So that means you looked at her and decided you were angry. She shook your world. She shook the room. And now, because you don't feel good about you anymore because she walked in, now you're going to try to like create a situation where you are trying to humble her, but in your effort to humble her, you're letting her know how great you think she is. Like I wouldn't want to raise a little black girl to move like that in the world, because if you being mean to me and I don't know you or I haven't done anything worthy of it, you're letting me know that my presence has moved you. You feel small. And I think that is what more women need to know, because why would you want to go around automatically letting people know that they are so elevated in your mind that you can't do anything but just try to bring them down and be mean to them? That's all you have. Like, that's kind of, it's pitiful. And I wouldn't want to raise anybody to move like that. But I don't know. What are your thoughts below? Thanks for listening.